I, for one, support being whoever the fuck you want to be, right? If you want to be a woman, great. If you want to be a dude, sure. You know, if you want to sleep with women, cool. If you want to suck dick, I don't care. Female athlete speaks out against competing with transgender athletes. Let's have a look.
My name is Michael Crawford. Yes, that guy you might have read about in Forbes and other financial magazines.
Hang on. Yeah, okay.
Madison Kenyon is a college track athlete who also competed against biological males. She joins me now to share her story along with her attorney, Kristen Wagner. Thank you both for being with us. I should say that while Leah Thomas hasn't had gender-affirming surgery, he did have a year's worth of, I believe, hormonal treatment, which is what the NCAA requires in many situations. But Madison, it doesn't change the biological fact that he's a man. He went through puberty as a man. He has muscle structure.
Stop with those bloody subtitles. Hang on. Subtitles. Turn that off. We don't need that. Quality, auto. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, so he's a man.
And everything through 22 years of his life as a man. And Madison, you've competed against this exact situation in track. You've competed against transgender athletes.
Yeah, I think I missed your question because it glitched. Do you mind asking it again?
Yeah, sure. Would you tell all of us watching right now, what is it like to go into a competition against a transgender athlete when you know the outcome ahead of time?
Yeah, it's extremely difficult.
Hang on. You know the outcome. What do you mean you know the outcome? It could be, a situation where a biological male that has transitioned to being a female has then decided to compete against females in the female division of the designated sport, what have you, discipline, what have you. It could be that this previously biological male that's transitioned to a female, it could be that they're just shit. Could be just shit, plain, full stop, plain and simple. The cases that are making the headlines are the ones where the transitioned athlete is dominating the field. And rightly so, because I guess that is attention grabbing. But there are definitely a number of cases where a biological male that has transitioned to becoming a female and then has competed in the sport or discipline, and then they've lost. That's documented too, and they're the ones that you don't hear about, right? Because no one cares. No one really cares. You were shit as a male, you're still shit as a female, okay? You're still getting your ass kicked. It's the ones where, for instance, with the case of Leah Thomas, previously, before she transitioned to being a female, Leah Thomas was ranked the high 400s. I think it was 450 something in America for the swimming discipline. But then when Leah Thomas transitioned to being a female, she just fucking smoked everyone. Dominated, absolutely dominated her field. And that's the one that gets the attention, that catches the news headlines, because it's a significant difference, right? And this is the one that they're talking about now. But to say that you're knowing the result, I don't think that's highly accurate. I don't think it's appropriate to say that, unless we're talking about a previous athlete who's just smoked the field, which in this case, I guess it is accurate, because I think they're referring to Leah Thomas. So anyway, I'll just shut my trap.
Inflating. I've experienced it 5 times, and each time I lost to a biological male. And the fact that that's still happening, that women are still losing to biological males in their own sport, shows why we need more female athletes to speak up about this. And so
Well, you can still beat biological male athletes, even if they're transitioned to being a female and they've undergone their hormone therapy, right? They've undergone their transitional treatment. I don't know the fucking correct term for it. If you do, leave it down there, educate me. I'm just a dumb prick, just a guy having a vent, or Not so much event, more like a laugh at the end of the day. But yeah, so yeah, you do need support in the rest of the females in the field, but at the same time, a lot of those girls, if you do speak up, right, because we're at a stage in the world or current events where you have to support people's rights and decisions and whatever the fuck they want to do, right? Leah Thomas, born a male, has transitioned to become a female. Yeah, there's going to be people that speak out, and there's obviously going to be people that support her decision to transition. I, for one, support being whoever the fuck you want to be, right? If you want to be a woman, great. If you want to be a dude, sure. You know, if you want to sleep with women, cool. If you want to suck dick, I don't care. All right, it's probably not appropriate. Who cares? But it's I have no problem with that, right? But when you're competing against other athletes who are not born the same biology, gender as you, that's where the grey area tends to happen, and the waters get a bit murky, right? And in this case, yeah, I mean, you take one look at Leah Thomas, right, and you can tell that she clearly has a physical advantage, even with repressed hormones through her hormone treatment therapy. You can clearly fucking see, man, that she has an advantage, okay?
I just kind of want to say to the female athletes in Pennsylvania, don't let anyone silence you. Speak up.
Speak up, don't let anyone silence you. Yeah, look, easier said than done, right? For these things, for people who, how do I say this right? Some people don't want to cause waves, yeah? Some people don't want to be labelled as a bigot or as a dickhead or someone who is discriminatory or someone who's gone against the grain, because you just get shunned. You get shunned by a lot of people. Like, yeah, you might have your friends and family that support you, but if you speak out against progressive movements such as, you know, LGBTQIA and transgender, as well as this hot topic here, transgender athletes competing, you know, it's pretty fucking volatile, man. You know, it's one thing to say it in your close group of friends who you trust and family, but to say it on a global stage like this lady here, Madison Kenyon, is doing, that takes some fucking balls. Pun not intended.
NCAA, your athletic directors, and your coaches that you want fair competition, because doing this is nowhere near as scary as it seems, and the amount of support is overwhelming.
Madison, I'm just curious. You ran track, right? What was your event?
So I did the 3K.
Oh, they weren't talking about Leah Thomas in specific, because this girl does track. For people who don't know what the fuck that means, aka people that don't live in America, track just means running, I guess, track and field and all that sort of shit, yeah? So not swimming.
An indoor track in the 1500, and I also ran cross country.
And when did you start running? When did you start competing in track? How old were you?
I think you asked me what event I did, but again, it glitched. I'm sorry, you're going to have to ask the question. I don't know what you asked.
I'll ask you one more time. We'll see if we can work through this glitch. How old were you when you started training for competition in track?
Oh, I started cross country in middle school and track in high school, so around 14.
So gives a shit what time she started.
Training at the age of 14, and within a matter of, I would assume, a couple months, a biological male stepped in and beat you after all of your years of training?
Big assumption.
So my first collegiate race, I raced against a biological male, and
so that's not exactly a couple of months after she started training. She started training in her young teens. I think they call that middle school, what, 13, 14, 15? Colleges, that's after like year 12, right? Here in Australia, we've got university. Over in the States, they've got college. That's after high school. Over here, for us, that's you finish high school when you're 17, or, you know, younger if you're a smart prick, or older if you're a dumb prick. Not like me. I mean, I'm close to being an idiot, but I did finish. I was 17.
They beat me.
See, that's
it's somebody, to your point, Janet Evans, you know, Missy Franklin, Katie Ledecky, somebody has to step up and say this is not right. This is not right. Mrs. Wagner, I'd love to get you in on this. I mentioned what the NCAA rules are about hormonal treatment, and different states at the high school level have different laws. What should the laws be when it comes to this?
They're simple. The law should be that biological women compete against biological women, and the NCAA policy doesn't require the University of Pennsylvania to deny a fair playing field to women. It doesn't require that at all. In fact, what it's doing is prioritizing activists over women athletes, and by denying them a fair playing field, they're refusing again to recognize legitimate biological distinctions, and that hurts women and girls the most.
And I think many are guided by empathy, but they're empathizing with one individual over the hundreds, the thousands of Madisons out there that have trained their entire life. It's very selective in where you apply your empathy. And by the way, it's the end of women's sports. Madison and Kirsten, thank you both for jumping on with us tonight.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox.
I don't think I'm going to click there to subscribe. I actually like Fox News, but I'm not going to subscribe. The end of women's sports. I don't think so. I don't think that's the end of women's sports, personally. I don't know, man. I just think I don't agree with biological males being able to compete against biological females in the women's division, right? There can be, you've got your male division, your female division. I do think that there should be an open division. That's me personally. But in terms of talking about the science with biological males competing with biological females, all I can tell you is that men just have an advantage, man, physically. They just do. Like that's just how it is. Okay. Even blind fucking Freddy could tell you that. Anyway. Thank you. If you enjoy listening to me talk shit, click the how do they say it? Like and subscribe, and click the bell icon for notifications for when I release videos. Some shit.